Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we are heading to the most valuable stock market in the Solar 175 universe, Gonza Index. Now we are stock traders in this futuristic dystopia competing to gain the most credit. We'll be purchasing stocks, manipulating prices and gaining powerful broker advantages. This one's low complexity. It plays 1 to 5, 20 to 60 minutes, and we can see the designers and publisher there as well. Let's take a closer look then. Okay, we have a two-player setup, yellows versus blues, and we are trying to make the most value from our investments because these tokens are worth 1 at the end. If we invest them in these corporations, we're hoping they'll be worth more. So if we come here and it stays like this at the end of the game, it's actually worth 0, and these prices can sway. Maybe you're losing points, but hopefully you will attain more value, and this will be worth 4 for each token on here at the end. So you've got these 6 corporations. We're kind of mid-game here. There's a maximum to how many tokens you can put on here. So in a 2-player game, you can have a max of 6. We've got 4 blue and 2 yellow. And once you place these tokens, you cannot move them unless the broker cards give you some special abilities. Now these broker cards, there's 4 in play. You will be bidding on these using your actions to try and have majorities to win these after events. That's right, we've got events as well. Now as you play through the game, these events are going to slowly build of these sort of E's, and once you place the 3rd one down, you will trigger an event. There's 4 recommended in a game, and they kind of give you an insight as to what they might influence the most. You reveal one of these once you've triggered that end one at any point you want during your turn, and I'll go through how your turn works in a minute. Now these are typically impacting the stocks at the top here. You can see each of these represents a certain industry, and they're going to influence them down, up, sometimes no change. You've got Celestial Rebellion attack here. So that is what the events are about. Now how is your turn going to flow? You've got these 5 dice. Now the black dice has 2 E's on it, so that is how you are going to get these E's out to trigger those events. The other dice, and even the black dice, has various actions on there, which I will go through. And the first action, well not the first, but one of the actions is a credit. This is how you attain more tokens because there's a big supply just out of camera view, but you have to earn those and acquire those to then use these to influence and get most value for that win for the end. So that's that icon. This one here is the broker icon, and you're going to want that to place these onto one of these broker cards so you hopefully have the majority to win those at the end of an event. The next one is decreasing the price of one of these corporations. Boom, you could put this one down. We've got the opposite. You can increase the value of one of these corporations. And finally, we've got this one is where you can allocate one of your tokens to one of these corporations. We couldn't place it here because it's a max of 6, but in higher player games, higher player counts, you can put more tokens. So we could place this one here. Now, first of all, like Yahtzee, you're going to literally roll these 6. And if you roll the black dice with the E, you will have to keep that dice there. You can't re-roll it. Now, if it had been, the corporation symbol, you could re-roll it again, and you get 2 re-rolls in any combination you want. But once you roll an E, that is fixed. So maybe we want this credit. We're going to re-roll these 3, and maybe we're going to keep another credit. We're going to want to decrease the price of one of them, and we're going to roll this for an increase. So once you have re-rolled twice, now you don't have to do any of these actions except the E. You will have to place that first one there. So what have we got? We've got 2 credits, and let's say this was yellow. So we're going to add 2 more here. We're then going to decrease, you can do this in any order, we're going to decrease the price of this blue one. We can't let them get a value of 6 for each one of those tokens there. And then we're going to increase the price of one. So we're going to go for our own corporation at the top here. And that is it, folks. Pass the dice on clockwise, a blue up. Let's see what we get then. So we're going to keep this one. Let's just say we keep all of those, but we could have 2 more rerolls. We are going to place one of these on a corporation. We can't go any more there. Maybe we're going to follow the yellows on that one. Maybe we're going to place the second one there as well. So now our 2 counters are worth 4 each. Maybe we're going to get, well, we're going to get another blue token for that one. We're going to place one of these on these broker cards, and these do a host of things. We can get 5 extra credits at the end of the game, 3 rerolls, minus the value of a corporation by 2. We can look at the top 3 broker cards and choose one to keep. Now, at the end of this event, the majority, so at the moment, if I put that one there, blue's going to win this card, yellow is going to win this card. If I go here and have more tokens than my opponent, well, I beat them. Now, these will be spent and go to the main supply, so they're not back in my hand, whereas the player, slight compensation, this will go back to their hand if they don't win, and they don't win a tie either. Now, if it is a tie, the player who triggered the event will break ties unless another opponent, a 3-4 player game plus, and if neither of these players triggered it and they both go back to their hand and no one wins the card. But I'll come around to what happens with all that in a moment. So we placed a token, where was it, that way, and then we're going to decrease the price and we're going to go down one on this one. Next player re-rolls, and you literally continue until these E's have been populated. Now, let's say it was yellow's roll, they just rolled it, and this E has come out, they've placed it there. They can choose when to trigger this card. Are they going to do it straight away and get some open information because they can see which stocks are going down in value and which ones they can then invest in? Or are they going to wait and hopefully get some of these broker symbols because they want to place these out before the auction happens? So let's say they do that. They place this one, and they've already rolled, and this is the outcome. They then trigger the event, influence the prices, discard this one, and you've only got, however many remained in. And once they've been exhausted, that is the end of the game. Bar each player, well, every other player will get an extra turn. Now, once you've placed the event, affected these, you will do the auction for these. Well, you've already been bidding on them, and whoever's the majority is now going to get the cards. So the yellow is going to get this one, yellow's going to get this one. There's no contesting on this particular case. Blue gets this one, this one's discarded, and 4 more are revealed. And there's a host in play. Well, there's a host outside as well in the deck. So we draw 4 more of these, and yeah, you've got your broke cards. Now, you can only ever have a max of 2 of these at the end of your turn. So if you have 1, 3 or 4, that is fine. At the end of your next turn, when you're in play, you're going to have to use some of those up. Now, some are end game ones. They let you, as we already noticed, give you extra credits. Some of them are influences during the game. You can increase and decrease the values and what have you. Literally, play continues. So these E's come off. Next player rolls, and so on and so on. So we keep going through these E's. Now, once the last event has been played, the person who triggered that was their final turn. Every other player will have a certain number of dice to roll. In a 2-player game, your opponent will have 3 dice to roll, and then that is it. You will get 1 VP for each of these tokens in your hand, and then you figure out the valuation. So these 3 times the value of 4 is 12. Do that, add up any points that you've attained through these broker cards, and whoever has the most points is the winner. Now, there is a host of corporations as well that may be added throughout the game. One of these broker cards allows that. There's a host of different things. Some of them, even give you different values. So once you get past the negatives in here, it's actually worth 3 points at the end as well. There is a host of event cards, so you give those a random shuffle. You maybe want to have a shorter game and put 2 or 3 in. Maybe a longer game, 5 or 6. So there we are, Gonza Index. Enjoy.